I'm gonna say I'll just go for it. You recording already? All right, today we're out here at the shop with Sean and Jared. We're gonna be installing the CD999 kit onto the CD009 transmission. This specific one is a 2008. The CD999 kit we have is for a multi-plate clutch that we're gonna be pairing up with a tilt-in triple plate clutch on the vehicle. So first things you gotta do, which will show you a step-by-step breakdown of what's going on. But first thing you gotta do is get the bell housing off. Before that even, you have to get rid of all the junk you don't need. Stuff you're not gonna need: factory shifter, clutch if it comes with one, slave cylinder, any electronical stuff, electronics, any subframe, and then we'll show you how to cut this off. You get rid of all this, and then you can focus on this. Welcome to the least comprehensive review of the CD999 kit. First thing you're going to do with this kit is draw a 1/8 inch line all the way around the second ridge of the transmission right here to make a clean cut on the bell housing. You're going to want to make sure you draw a nice clean line all the way around because you're going to have to follow this line while you are cutting. In the CD999 video on YouTube by Serial 9, they show them using a Sawzall. I find as I go through this kit that using a cutoff wheel worked best for me, so whatever you feel more comfortable using, make sure you go that route. Every once in a while you're going to want to make sure to give it a good kick.
This whole piece over here.
Kick it off.
If it doesn't come off, make any extra provision cuts that you need to.
Work underneath the trailer pretty soon.
Give it another kick, and it should come off eventually. Next, the kit comes with a guide to cut the input shaft off at the proper length. Once it is cut off, it should look like this. After that, you are going to need to make sure you take a flapper disc and bevel the edges back to a factory style tolerance. Having somebody there to spin the shaft while you are grinding makes it much easier. At this point, I would say the hardest part of the job is done. We need to get focused on getting the rest of these parts now onto the modified transmission. At some point, you need to take the time to go back, clean up all the edges with the flapper disc, make sure everything is smooth, all the nubs are ground down, and all the edges are nice and clean. We then put the transmission on the workbench, removed all the bolts off the main cover. All right, so we haven't been following along 100%, but it doesn't matter because CD999 kit and Serial 9 have their own video anyways. So you can see here we have the blue ring. You get a red ring and a blue ring. Depending on which one fits, you know which one you need to use. So in our case, we have a 2008 350Z CD009 transmission. We needed the blue ring. I believe 05, 06s don't need any ring, and the previous models need the red. But either way, that is now on there, so we can start messing around with getting the bell housing and all that stuff buttoned up. One of the last things you're going to do is bolt the bell housing to the transmission itself. It comes with a gasket to go between the two pieces. The big thing to remember is the bottom few bolts do hold fluid. So you need to make sure you put RTV in those holes or around that area of the bottom of the transmission. We decided to put RTV in the entire area just to play it safe. All right, one thing that we didn't show the install of was Jared and Sean actually put the shifter onto this transmission for us. So this is the CD999 shift relocation system shifter that comes in the kit. Obviously you can order without that as well. They got a couple different bolt holes depending on your transmission, and it's essentially where exactly you want to line up. They have different spacers that are included in the kit based off a year as well. Obviously we have two other spacers left over. You get this fancy little bracket that actually connects with the shift fork or arm, whatever you want to call it, to kind of set up where you want. So obviously depending if you want it facing forward, back, sideways for whatever reason, you have control over all that. But the linkage inside, everything you see here all comes with it. So we have that all on. Obviously you can see the bell housing is on now as well, so this is a completed kit. Overall, on a scale of 1, not having a clue how to use tools, and 10, you're an awesome mechanic, I would give this install a 7. It's not really that hard. Obviously you got to be pretty precision with your cuts on it. Obviously you have to have the general idea of how to hook up the linkage and everything like that, and what has to go where. But besides that, super easy install, super clean kit, really tight throw on the shifter, which should be awesome as well. So overall, I'd say great kit, and I can't wait to beat it up.